invite Abdullah Almas on stage to recite a Quran verse for us.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون.
Thanks very much, Abdullah. And now I would like to welcome our Ontario Liberal Party candidate for Brampton East, Jeanette Gerwal. Jeanette is a small business owner and an educator teaching students from junior kindergarten to grade 12 in Brampton East. She has also volunteered and worked with the Ontario Liberal Party for over a decade, where she served as a regional advisor for the Golden Horse Show. Jeanette will be a strong and a progressive voice for her community, and of course our next MPP for Brampton East. Please help me in welcoming Jeanette.
Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Kareem. I'm so delighted to be here tonight to celebrate Iftar with our Muslim brothers and sisters here in Brampton East, my home. I am honored to have so many of my candidate colleagues running for the Ontario Liberal Party under Stephen Duca's leadership here with us tonight. Please help me in welcoming the outstanding 2022 Ontario Liberal Party candidates on stage. First elected as leader in March 2020, Stephen has been working relentlessly these past 2 years on issues that are the most important to us and has recruited amazing candidates across the province to reflect his priorities and showcase the diversity that exists in Ontario. Please help me welcoming our leader and next Premier of Ontario, Stephen Duca.
Well, assalamu alaikum. I am so deeply honored to be here this evening with all of you during this important and holy month of Ramadan to break the fast in a short while here at our Iftar celebration. I have to say, over the past couple of years during COVID, the previous Iftars that I've had the honor of participating in have been virtual. But to be up on this stage this evening and to see so many of you here in person after what has been such a difficult time is something that is greatly, greatly encouraging to me and to our entire team. And I want to thank you for being here tonight in fellowship. Thank you so much for your attendance at tonight's Iftar. Now, I have to say, everywhere I go in this province, I like to spend just a minute or two talking about how exceptionally strong our team of candidates is. And you see representatives of that entire team, women and men like Janet, who's running here in Brampton East and who will make a phenomenal MPP for this community. but an exceptional team of women and men. Don't they look phenomenal up there? How about a big round of applause for the entire Ontario Liberal Party team? But I want to specifically highlight an achievement that I think we can all be proud of. Tonight, I can tell you that so far, there are 12 Ontario Liberal Party candidates from the Muslim community, and this is the highest number of Muslim candidates in our party's history. A gathering like this doesn't happen by accident. It happens, of course, because you've all taken the time to be with us. It happens because candidates have reached out to all of you to invite you for this iftar. And it happens because people volunteer their time to step forward and to support this effort. I want to highlight just a couple of individuals who I want to say thanks to from this podium. Two particular people who are members of the Ontario Liberal Party's election campaign committee, dear friends and supporters, Kasir Dar and Khalid Alvi, thank you so much for your support and your help here tonight. I want to thank Hanan for serving as our MC this evening. She's doing a phenomenal job. A big round of applause for our MC. And of course, I want to thank a very dear friend and supporter, someone you're going to hear from in just a moment, Mohammed Faki, a true Canadian hero who steps up time and time again to do the right thing. So I think you all know that there's an election coming soon here in Ontario, 43 days from today. On Thursday, June the 2nd, all of you in this room and people right across Ontario will get to choose. We'll get to choose the future direction of this province that we call home, this province that we love so much. I want you to know that I am pledging to you this evening that I will work relentlessly hard, standing shoulder to shoulder with our team of candidates, with all of you, to make sure that we build a province that we can be proud of. A province where we stand together, where we fight racism, intolerance, discrimination, and hatred every single step of the way. And an Ontario Liberal government will immediately pass the Our London Family Act because it is the right thing to do. Working with all of you, we will build an Ontario where women and men who go to places of worship, mosques, synagogues, churches, should feel safe every time they pray, and we will dedicate specific resources to make sure that that is something we can guarantee people who are worshiping in this province. Just yesterday, I stood with many of our candidates to announce that if elected, just in the aftermath a few days ago, you all know this story of the 5 men who were leading evening prayers in Scarborough, and who were all victims of gun violence. In a province like ours, that simply should not happen, and Ontario Liberals, working with our federal government, will deliver on a handgun ban within 1 year. And working with all of you, we are going to build a publicly funded education system where the class sizes are small, where there are special needs professionals and mental health professionals, where we actually invest billions of new dollars, making sure that our schools are physically strong and safe for our kids and our frontline education workers. We're going to develop a plan so that our seniors, our elders, our parents and grandparents can retire and live their lives in their own homes and be safe and healthy and have real dignity, because it is, after all, our parents and grandparents who built this country, and we owe them everything. We are going to invest in publicly funded healthcare so that fast-growing communities like Brampton and Scarborough and elsewhere have exceptional healthcare close to home that is world-leading and strong enough to withstand all future challenges. We're going to make that happen here in Brampton, in Scarborough, and right across Ontario. And together with all of you, we are going to build an economy where workers and their families are at the center of every single decision we make, where we no longer have simply a minimum wage, but we deliver maximum economic dignity by creating the very first living wage in this province, so people who show up, like all of you, and work hard day in and day out can afford to live in a province like ours, it's the very least that we can do. And we're going to support small business entrepreneurs, those who've been abandoned by the Ford Conservatives throughout this pandemic. We're going to make sure that the hardest hit small businesses pay no corporate income tax for 2 full years so that they can get back on their feet and can continue to fire our economy and move our province forward. We will do all of this and more. We will deliver this kind of progress, but I want you to hear this from me directly. We cannot do it alone. This team of exceptional talent that you see up on this stage, women and men running in every corner of this province, we need you to continue to do what you've already been doing. We need you. We know how passionate you are about Ontario and its future, to keep showing up, to keep working relentlessly hard with us. And if you do this, and I look out at this room and I see so many friends and familiar faces, people who literally helped make me the leader of this party, and I will never forget that. If you work the way that I know you know how to work, then I am telling you, in 43 days, inshallah, we will win this election and we'll get Ontario back on track. Thank you very much.
We're continuing our program tonight with an inspiring and a special speaker that I cannot wait to introduce. I'm not biased because I'm Arab and he's a community champion to my community, but he has a really unique story that I'm excited for you to hear tonight. Arriving in Canada, Mohammed Faki had $1,300 in his pocket. He bought a new bankrupt restaurant and built it into one of North America's fastest growing Middle Eastern halal food chains. And you know what I'm talking about. Paramount Fine Foods, while becoming one of the country's most respected philanthropists. When COVID hit, Mohammed needed to ensure both his business and community would continue to thrive. Forbes magazine covered his pivot, launching new brands including Pot, which is Canada's first fully automated, safe restaurant with an even larger staff than before to support his team. His Paramount business also donated thousands of meals to food banks, shelters, and to frontline workers. Mohammed inspires audiences to implement strategies that result in successful teams and businesses while giving back to the community in effective and sustainable ways, and sharing success with others in order to create lasting change and a new kinder capitalism. Mohammed, the floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, let's try again. 1,200 people in the room. Let's try again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Well, much better, of course. Ramadan Kareem, Hanan, thank you very much. And Ramadan Mubarak, may Allah accept all your good deeds, your great work, your prayers, and your fast for sure. Ameen. Ameen. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for being here to support this amazing, amazing team of liberal friends. Come on. Let's get this out of the way. Ontario needs a new premier. Leader. It needs Stephen Del Duca. Ladies and gentlemen, an election is coming. You can tell because all of a sudden, Doug Ford is everywhere. But where was he during the worst of the pandemic? Where was he when we needed him the most? He was nowhere to be found. Doug Ford ran for office, then he ran for governor. I'll tell you, it's been a tough couple of years for all of us. But you know what? We've learned a lot about ourselves. And we have learned a lot about our leaders. How they respond in a crisis, or they don't. How they thrive under pressure, or they crack.
how they confronted new challenges or hide from them. Doug Ford wasn't up to the job. He let us all down. Doug let down all the business owners, you can ask him, and our workers. He left them on their own when they needed him most. Doug let us down by letting down our seniors, our nurses, and our children, leaving them unprotected and vulnerable. All around us during this pandemic, we kept watching ordinary people rose to the occasion and to the challenge. We took care of each other. We took care of our neighbors and our friends. Even we took care of people we've never met. We offered help. We gave support and even just a small kindness. We all showed leadership because someone had to. I have a message for Doug Ford. Doug, we remember how you let us down. We remember how you dropped the ball. And we remember that you laid low when the pressure got too high. And let me tell you, we're going to remember. One other thing, Doug. On June 2nd, we're going to remember that we in Ontario can do better. This is a great Liberal team that will send Doug Ford packing. A team led by Stephen Del Duca, a real leader. I like talking to Stephen because he gets it. He understands the challenges we all face these days, as workers, as employers, as families. And you know what? When Stephen sees a problem, he's not the guy who goes at it with a tiny little shovel. He will put together everything he has into it, and so will his team. Not only that, he has real ideas, real solutions. Stephen and his team will be there for us, for all of us. He believes in putting people first. He understands the importance of investing in healthcare and education. He believes in working toward real solutions on climate change. And he's ready to make hard decisions, real decisions, and just not the easy one. I was so glad yesterday when I was watching you, Stephen, on TV, when you announced that you would put in place a ban on handguns in Ontario. That's something I have advocated on for a very long time. It means we are very, very serious about making our communities safer. Most of all, he believes in making a progress, all of us together, succeeding, all of us together. And today, Stephen committed to passing our London Family Act as quickly as possible. And that is a platform of promise. We need his continued and strong, unwavering support of the act to fight hatred, Islamophobia, and racism here in Ontario. And he has been there with us from the beginning, on our side. I was so upset when Doug Ford was making fun and attacked immigrants. He called us lazy and he called us greedy. Doug believes that the best way to win an election is to divide people, turn us against one another. Stephen Del Duca knows very well that we can succeed only if we work together, join together, and stay together. A real leader unites people. That's who Stephen Del Duca is. Ontario needs a premier who listens to science, not to his buddies. We need a premier who's willing to work hard, not hardly work. We need a leader with vision and with a plan. A a leader who put his experience to work for the greater good. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, Ontario needs a liberal government with these great MPPs and a great leader, Duca. This is the leader, this is the team. I'm going to ask you all to join me. Join with me, and on June 2nd, let's send a new government, a new leader, and a great team with a new energy to Queen's Park. I'm going to ask you all to stand up. Please, stand up. Let's stand up all and send a very strong message to the rest of Ontario that on June 2nd, we will support Stephen Duca and the Ontario Liberal Party. Thank you very much. Have a great time.
And now I would like to invite Imam Adam Yusuf to come on the stage to say a few words and provide down before we break our fast.
Assalamu alaikum. What's going on? I say Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. That's what I come by now. And before I start my few words, let me start with one word. A number of years back, when Bill Graham was the interim leader of federal government, at the time Liberal, and one night there was a great meeting for the Liberals candidates of the time, 11 candidates for the position, and he said, I'm not allowed to endorse anyone of the candidates. However, if I'm allowed, my wife and I would have been elected Adam, meaning me. But unluckily, Liberals did not elect me, rather Harper came into the power. Okay, let's go to the religious point. That religious point is, I'll share with you one of very important prophetic word that the Prophet of God, Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, has said. احفظ الله يحفظك. He said, take care of Allah, take care of God, and Allah will take care of you. Just a very simple word, straightforward. No matter wherever you are, no matter whoever you are, no matter young or old or wealthy or poor or whatever it is, if you take care of your God, then God will take care of you. It is us who need to take care of God. That's one point. The second point I'd like to mention is, for those of you who are fasting, by the time you're breaking your fasting, since you've been fasting is early morning, at dawn time, at this, after 8, maybe 10 or whatever it is, about 15 hours, no even sip of water, the God promised you, by the time you're breaking your fast, your prayer is taken by angels to God straight, and your prayer will be accepted. So make prayer for yourself and for the whole our country too, our people, the well-being of our country, the well-being of our people, of our nation, but at the same time for yourself, for your family, for your children, for your spouse, for your neighbors, for your friends, for your relatives. How important that it is. The other point I'd like to also mention, in this case, I congratulate the great number of people get together over here from different backgrounds, but I extremely congratulate for the Muslim community, Ontario Muslim community, Torontonians, that great number, 10 up over here today. It is a really rahmah of Allah. I would say it is a mercy of God. Finally, let me also mention one thing. The security of me is a security security of Muslims is security of non-Muslims. Safety for some of us, it is for all. We should, all of us, work very hard and harder to make sure that our people, our neighbors, our city, our country is safe. Each and every one of you must work very hard. You are a soldier by you, yourself. So we must do that. I ask you also the authority of the province and the cities to take care of the Muslims. You know what has happened last week. Also, people who are going into the mosque is being shot a number of times. Thanks to God, they haven't died, but a number of times previously have been killed, number of people. Let us, all of us, stand, as we say right now, to elect the next leader, all of us together. Then let us stand to protect the Muslim women who have a hijab, the children who are going to Islamic school. Let's do all of us together. If we do so, we will be successful, all of us. All of us, and we will reach where we wanted to reach. I will conclude the way I said it previously. This country, I came from a country that where the people, they see the authority people, they used to run away. This country, when you have a problem, you call the police. They are your helpers. This country, really, Canada, it is a place to be proud of for all of us. I'm proud of my children do. And if that's the case, one good thing I will say, particularly for the Muslim community, I said my special ceremony at the mosque, each and every one of you, it is a must to vote the day of vote. It's up to you who you're going to vote. You make your decision, but you have to vote. That will make a difference. And the leader of Liberal, I have one word for you. The day you have my 100% support is the day that I see your sides, both sides, there is a Muslim ministers. The day I see that way, you are my buddy. My own community, I'm with you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.